It's just bad.
You got Monty angry.
It
Don't do that.
doesn't make any sense.
Well, picks and bans for game number 3. I think we'll probably see something a little bit different this time around from the Afreeca Freecs.
Well, we'll see if Longzhu is going to ban Sivir on the red side because Afreeca took it away. And also, as far as Afreeca should be concerned, no, they are not going to let the Sivir through. That is smart. Afreeca really should try and deny the poke compositions that have been Longzhu's only way of winning games.
Yeah, well, they banned the Jace, they banned the Ashe now. Okay, that seems a bit too reactionary, doesn't it?
I'd ban the Varus instead.
Well, they've got one more chance. Corki banned out.
We talked about this. Coco is number 4 in the league in damage per minute and percentage of his team's damage. Just ban him out.
Yeah, seems reasonable.
It's a major carry threat on Longzhu, and if you can take away the tools with which he makes his picks.
I wonder if they're going to ban the Echo.
They should ban the Lissandra, I think.
Yeah, they will. All right, Lissandra banned.
And the reason why is that you open up the possibility of a blind pick set.
Now, Twisted Fate.
Twisted Fate's available.
Oh,
boy.
Yeah, they left TF up. Okay, we'll see if the Afreeca Freecs want to play that.
I think you
don't need to take it right away.
Take the Callista here. Definitely. There's such a pinch on the AD carry pool. You've removed 3 AD carries at this point. Take the Callista. You're going to force them probably into Illusion.
Right. You're thinking about it, though. But it makes sense. And you don't need to take that Twisted Fate right away. You can wait for that.
I think Longzhu is going to try and take the TF away, though.
I was wondering, yeah. Might be.
Twisted Fate can have problems against an Azir, getting poked out in the earlier stages of the game, which Mickey showed he could play actually pretty well in game number 1.
Okay, so Callista, the first pick. And what's it going to be? I mean, you might as well keep running the Echo. It's been very, very good tonight already. Yeah,
he's been winning lane pretty handily. Now, I think that a lot of Expression's solid Echo play was a result of really bad tower diving and really poor coordination from Afreeca in the last game, so I don't think there's a need to ban the Echo. I think you just let him have it.
They do.
Especially if you're going to have the Callista and there's not really a good counter, because the reason why Afreeca is not afraid of a Jhin pick coming through after they first picked the Callista is Fury was terrible on Jhin when he tried to play it. Really bad. So I don't think that's very, they don't consider that a threat.
Certainly doesn't seem like it. Next pick's over to Afreeca. They could take the Nidalee. Graves available too, though. That game 1 Graves was really, really strong from Lyra.
Yeah, you also can take Braum here and therefore not be as worried about Nidalee Spears.
Yeah, Graves Braum.
Take Graves Braum, I think is quite strong. Right now, you don't necessarily have to select a... Yeah, I think that makes some sense.
And 2 picks over to Longzhu. So now they have seen most of the Afreeca Freecs team anyway, but they still don't know what the solo laners are going to be. Oh, the Kog'Maw would be kind of surprising. I don't think we're going to see that.
Nope, but the Varus is something we might well see.
Yep, even though they've got a Braum on the other side.
But
Varus is still okay.
Well, you definitely should not pick Varus right now. There is no reason to pick a Varus on the second round of the draft on red side. You don't need to hide your jungler right here. They could just be going for another poke. Why? Why?
Are they worried that Mickey's going to take the Varus?
Yes, that is a concern. Obviously, Mickey has played Varus pretty frequently in recent weeks, so they're going to go for the same style of poke composition. And this is why I just disagree with the Ashe ban. Like, why take the Ashe away when you can deny the Varus? If you're not going to prioritize the Nidalee either, you basically just hand them exactly the same thing I had last time, so no point even.
Maybe they were planning on giving them the Varus, so they didn't want them to get the Ashe Varus combo again.
Could be the Gragas on the top side. This would set up a nice pick composition alongside the Zed. They can isolate somebody. And we can see exactly how this Gragas versus Echo lane
I mean, it also
Strikes out.
handles the possible Kindred pick coming in for the jungle too.
Very true.
Yeah.
Well, the Nidalee's already picked, so.
Oh yeah.
Probably not going to see that. And they could just go with the Twisted Fate instead and try and feed their side lanes. It would be a little bit more reserved. You do have to worry about getting hit by those piercing arrows early, though, from Twisted Fate. It's still going to be a harsh matchup for him. But it's not banned, and that means Mickey's going to lock it.
Yeah. So, Gragas TF are the last two picks for the Afreeca Freecs. This is the comp they're going to try to keep their playoff hopes alive with.
Yes, indeed it is. Now, what are we going to see from Longzhu when it comes to an AD carry? Please do not play that gen.
I think they're going to do it just to make you happy.
Afreeca will be so happy if they see this. Sure, they aren't going to be happy in the laning phase, but Fury's Jhin was straight up awful last time he played it. He was doing
locking it in.
Very bizarre things on this champion. He was like opening up fights with the curtain call ultimate and not doing any damage, and he just seemed totally lost in how to play it. Of course, it is a strong poke champion with this composition, but I'm just not sold on Fury's ability to play it. Plus, you have a TF that can get right into your backline. You get knocked out of there, too, by a Gragas ultimate. It just seems like an absolutely massive risk. Why not just play Lucian? Play Lucian and lane swap. They've gone, what Longzhu has done, though, is they've gone for the strong lanes, right? They want standard lanes here. But if Afreeca gets a lane swap off and then can successfully play around the overextension after the towers go down with the Twisted Fate, they're going to be in a great situation. So this is a lot to gamble on whether or not a lane swap is going to occur. Kind of for both teams.
Yeah. Well, we'll see who ends up coming out on top, taking the match. Obviously, if Longzhu does it, Afreeca's playoff hopes are pretty much ruined. They'll never be able to get to the number of wins that Samsung has, the team currently sitting in 5th place, and that would mean that's it for them.
Yeah.
So the season on the line for the Afreeca Freecs here in game number 3 of our first best of 3 of the day.
Unless Samsung loses to Kongdu, which is unlikely.
Yeah.
Still there's still an asterisk, though. It's not all over for Afreeca, but it would be close.
Yeah. It'd be really shocking. So, either way, it's nearly, almost, practically a do-or-die situation for the Afreeca Freecs. Let's see if they can close it out, or if Longzhu takes a win. Time to get in the game.
Find you acting on your best behavior. Turn your back on mother.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Afreeca Freecs versus Longzhu Gaming. Longzhu just playing for glory, pretty much. Playing for pride. Afreeca Freecs, so playing for a possible chance to take that last playoff spot.
Gotta win. Gotta win. Or you're basically just praying that Kongdu somehow beats Samsung, and that is incredibly unlikely. So Longzhu here. It's a bit of a chance to play spoiler. They're going to wait to brush. Uh-oh, Mickey.
Oh, Mickey walks right into it. He's going to go down first. Blood goes to Coco. That's actually the worst person for Mickey to have that kill against, too.
Absolutely terrible for Afreeca for that kill to go over to Mickey.
Well, that works.
Or for Coco, rather.
Yeah.
And so now they're going to have to deal with an even faster scaling Varus. Some more pain in the early game. And this is a bad scenario. He doesn't have really time to go back to base to pick up an item. And Mickey, I think, intelligently decides not to use any of his summoner spells right there. Not that he had much of an opportunity, but he knew he was dead.
Yeah. And better to just save those, take the loss. And we'll see what he can do in lane.
Oh.
Not a good start.
Certainly not. Not a good look. And to add insult to injury, though, it's going to be standard lanes.
Yep.
So big advantage here for Longzhu. This is the lane situation that they definitely wanted in this. They're already level 2 onto Fury after taking that Gromp and carving through a little bit of this minion wave. So it's an uphill battle. Mickey is going to have to be spectacular on this Twisted Fate, making plays across the map, which is something he couldn't and didn't do last game on the LeBlanc in order to save this game, really.
Pretty much.
You see Ixu already falling behind, Expression.
He's going to have a hard time against that Echo.
Yep. Some harassment will be quite challenging to deal with. And look at this. Again, Lyra takes a very greedy path. I don't understand why Lyra keeps doing this in the early game. In game number 1, we saw Longzhu with the early kill.
Oh, over the wall onto Coco. Coco could be in a little bit of trouble. Might have to burn a summoner. Nope. All right, Lyra doesn't chase. That was a close call for Coco.
So in game number 1, we saw that our dual lanes were in the top side. Snowflower died very early, and yet he still did a full clear of bottom side on blue, and then moved into top, and there was an invasion from Chaser. This time, there's a lot of pressure in that bottom side, and he should be communicating with his bottom lane. Songyan and Snowflower should be saying, they have the level advantage, we're getting pushed in, because then he just does a full clear again, and he loses another buff as a result. And this is just really sloppy early game communication between Lyra and his teammates. He should know where the pressure is, and he should know that he can't really do much in this situation. So he needs to cut his losses, do only 1 or 2 camps on the top side, make sure he gets his red buff, and then double back, right?
Yeah.
It's really big path errors.
Well, everything going Longzhu's way so far. Only a 500 gold or so lead at the moment, but it's not like it's looking to shrink at all in the near future.
It's definitely not the end of the world for Afreeca, but the combination of standard lanes and that early kill is, can't deny it's going to be pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Basically, a Longzhu has 3 wins. Tough.
Yeah, pretty much. Ixu is coming back a little bit in the top lane, able to get some CS anyway. Not too bad. Could be worse. They could be out of alcohol. That'd be worse for Gragas. That'd be way worse. No beer. Oh no. Well, it's a wine skin, I guess. No wine.
It's a champagne bottle.
No champagne. Oh no.
Isn't that the worst, though? No champagne.
I'm not a big champagne fan, so no, I wouldn't be bothered by it.
Have you ever had really good champagne?
Probably not.
It's quite nice.
I'll stick with my scotch, like any good broadcaster would.
The occasional celebratory nice bottle of champagne is definitely a treat. But I agree, scotch is the everyday broadcaster's drink of choice. We can agree on that.
That's right. Drink responsibly.
Unlike Gragas.
That's right, not like Gragas.
And they took away Cho'Gath's wine on the splash art of the gentleman Cho'Gath skin recently.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
He just has an empty glass now.
You have another...
They took away his pipe, too.
You have another champion that's based around consuming alcohol. Why would you do that? Ixu, why would you go up in lane and then have to use your flash? Well, flash is by Chaser, so it's great. That is so weird. I didn't know that. That's ridiculous.
So they took away Cho'Gath's pipe also. As maybe their Riot's war against smoking continues.
Maybe Cho'Gath's underage. He looks old. He's an old soul, but he's a little bit young when it comes to drinking and smoking.
He's really gentle boy, Cho'Gath.
That's right. Oh, Coco. Coco. Look what you did. You missed your ultimate. That's not good. At least he didn't flash for it. It's a pretty short cooldown on the Chains of Corruption, so keep getting a couple hits onto the turret.
Chucking some cards at a cat.
Yeah. Why not?
That's what you do in the mid lane. All right, so they're going to try and punish this recall by pushing up the mid lane and getting some damage down on the turret.
Yep, Pure. A little bit low, has to flash. Flash from Songyun to get that rend. Mickey coming in with his ultimate. They get the kill over to Songyun. Now Fury in trouble. He manages to get out with the flash.
Really good all in there from Afreeca. They read that situation beautifully, and that's the kind of communication that you need.
Good Chaser.
He can't do anything, he doesn't have flash, he's fine.
Never mind that.
But in any case, that's the kind of communication you need. So Graves shows up in the mid lane, and they know Coco just recalls. So they have 2 options. They can either push up and deal some damage to the turret, but then they see the opportunity just to all in the bottom lane, get Mickey down there, secure a kill onto Songyun, and they execute it really well. Mickey doesn't even have to use his flash underneath that turret. So great all-in timing, and Fury and Pure. That's a communication issue from Longzhu as Expression gets knocked around.
All right, tries to go back in time, and it looks like it's going to be just enough to keep him alive.
He doesn't go back in time, though. He goes back in space.
Oh, he goes back in, well, theoretical time.
No, he doesn't go back in time.
Well, then how does he regain some of his life?
He actually goes back in space and heals. That is actually what Echo does. Echo has nothing to do with time travel. He has to do with space travel and healing.
I'm not so sure.
He's a fraud, dude. He's a charlatan.
So you're saying he couldn't go back in time and then jump back forward in time in a different place?
That's called traveling in space, Noah. You just you just described moving from one place to another through use of time travel, which is an incredibly stupid way to use time travel.
I'm not Doc Brown, I'm Doc Doa, all right? I didn't know you were such an expert on time travel.
No.
You're just an expert on space.
Space travel, that's right.
Space travel, I see.
But basically, Echo's just a fraud. He tells everybody that he's a time traveler, but he's really he just moves around, he teleports, heals and heals.
I see.
It's actually quite boring.
Does Tracer do that? Overwatch 2? Does she just travel in space?
Yes, she has nothing to do with time travel. The rest of the game doesn't rewind. That'd be really annoying for everyone else in the game. Could you imagine that, playing with like 10 other people, and all of a sudden the game just rewinds like
it only rewinds
once every
for
3 minutes?
See, it's a bubble of time centered upon the individual.
You know? That doesn't make sense.
Sure, you just take your own time bubble with this technology, and you travel back in your own personal time.
That's ridiculous. Why not just travel in space then?
Because it's so much less cool, man. Everybody travels in space. Not many people travel in time. Obviously, Rommel catches Pure. Here comes Mickey. They don't need him. Mickey's unnecessary. Oh, he's going to come in anyway. They're going to get the kill onto Fury, too. Afreeca Freecs, Expression teleporting to the wrong place. Can he get a kill? Yeah, he can. Right before he goes down, gets 2, actually. Whoa, double kill from Expression. Not bad. Coco coming in with the arrow, though.
That was actually a good play from Expression. Great use of the Echo ultimate right there to travel in space, but not time.
Yeah, right. He had a good time. Bot lane.
He had a good space.
Oh, chance of corruption on the Ixu. Your alcohol habits have corrupted you. Ixu. So don't worry, kids. He just carries around an empty bottle and drinks grape juice.
All right, well, let's take a look at this again. Now, they're going to try and make this play because Pure is level 5, and of course, Pure is playing Jhin, so he's very vulnerable, especially without that flash up. So they come back in, get the re-engage. Look at that play. Expression rolls in, gets a beautiful 3-man stun, and then travels in space to kill 2 more people with the help of that burst damage from his ultimate. Really good teleport. They actually saved that play.
Yeah.
But Afreeca, they are now really on the ball. And if you watch the EU LCS games this past weekend, the playoffs when Fnatic was playing Vitality, you'll notice that they did something very similar in game number 2 when there was a Jhin played, and I think this is one of the reasons why we haven't seen Jhin really popular, because when you have double teleport compositions, Jhin can just be killed under his turret like 1,000,000 times, and you basically can just follow the Jhin around the map with your TP and just dive him every single time. Obviously that's harder with the level 6 Alistar, but with the level 5 Alistar, it sure is easy.
You know, the interesting thing is that as we see Afreeca take the dragon, is that in the Echo cinematic, everything does go back in time.
I know.
Using it, but it doesn't happen in the game.
No, it doesn't. I told you, he's a charlatan.
I want the item in the game, or I want the item from the cinematic.
He's a fraud.
Apparently he is.
He staged that part of it, but when it actually came to the proof of his time-traveling abilities that we get at Summoner's Rift,
he invented the zero drive, right? That's the thing.
Ooh, this is actually quite dangerous.
I don't know.
Jin was left behind here.
Yeah, and he may be in big trouble. Lyra comes in for a little bit of early damage on Fury. There's the flash. I don't know.
Well, Jin can't do anything now, and
Yeah.
I think that this is why we will see less Jin, basically. He's got the curtain call.
Can't really do too much damage with it, though, with Snowflower there.
Yeah, at least he's going to save his turret. That is the bright side as Alistair and Nidalee come down to help him. Coco also fading back towards that lane, but it's just a matter of time, really. The chip damage really starting to
You mean
mount.
a matter of space?
Yes, a matter of space. Done with you, Echo, you fraudulent time traveler.
False advertising.
Look, he can jump around, he can flash and heal himself. I think that's pretty cool. Why did he have to lie about the time travel?
Maybe he could before, but now he just doesn't do it in the League of Legends.
Wow, lame.
I don't know. Can't explain it. Here comes Ixu. On to Expression, just doing a little bit of damage there. Way behind, though, now. CS-wise, and well, really kill-wise, too.
Expression's the glue that's holding Longzhu together right now, but
Pretty much.
Coco did get that first blood, so he has been accelerated. Mickey's still struggling to complete his Rod of Ages, and see that fast, very fast Youngos Ghost Blade in the mid lane from Coco, so he's got some decent all-in potential.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, you really can't do what Echo's trying to do in terms of time travel, because if you took yourself back like that, if you actually traveled back in time, wouldn't you just appear with like a second version of yourself right there? Because what happens to the original Echo, right? Does he just get blown up? Does the other Echo just come out of him?
I think that since they're in the same place, that one just like, by being in the same place at the same time, one just instantly dies, right?
Kind of like getting telefragged in Unreal Tournament back in the
Exactly,
day.
I think you just telefrag yourself.
I see. That poor Echo, wow. Just repeatedly telefragged himself. Now I get it. Makes more sense. There can be only one.
I think I'd be willing to telefrag myself for the ability to travel in time.
Well, as long as you didn't feel it.
Even if I did feel it.
Wow. Yikes.
Well, I could always choose not to do it, duh.
I mean, the other option is that he does it and creates a new branch of the universe, basically. A new reality is created. So every time he uses it, reality branches off into two separate timelines. One where Echo just dies, the other one where...
Echo's really cluttering up the multiverse.
I
now.
know. Oh, wow, Mickey with that Q. But yeah, he is. That's the other option. That Echo is just creating a bunch of unnecessary timelines where he dies.
Wow, somebody's gonna have to clean that up someday.
I know, right? Sometime that's all gonna like get messed up. It's all gonna come together.
Okay, so here's the situation they're in now. Longzhu now has to figure out how Jin is actually going to survive being in this long
Well,
lane.
Mickey coming in. They want to make a play. Mickey gets hit with the Chains of Corruption immediately, though. Ixu comes in to block a bit of damage. Lyra taking quite a bit, though. And Afreeca has to back away already. Whoa, one more shot comes in onto Ixu. Gets him very, very low. Lyra turns around for a bit of shots onto Expression. But overall, Afreeca Freecs pushed out of that mid lane pretty easily. No, it's a pretty close one. Longzhu coming back, getting a turret. Teleport coming in from Ixu. They want to make a play here. Ixu and Mickey joining in. Snowflower dives in, gets pulled back by the Fate's Call. Pure trying to just zone, prevent the damage from coming in, but the Afreeca Freecs are winning this fight. Expression travels back in something. Can't get any kills this time around, though, and that is a team fight won by the Afreeca Freecs.
And they came in right there, and that's the problem that you get if you're Longzhu, is you can no longer put Jin in the long lane because he's going to get killed by the double teleport. But when you try and come in like that too and play aggressively, it's incredibly dangerous because Mickey actually had a gate in and a teleport back in, so he can rejoin the fight multiple times right now. So let's take a look at this. Longzhu's just going to try and siege this one up, but here comes Mickey, uses that TP to re-enter this engagement, and it's just all clean up from there. Songyun has the Hurricane, and a little bit of lifesteal too from the Cutlass, so he's going to be very dangerous when the members of Longzhu start to clump up, and now Longzhu in the throes of desperately trying to create picks.
Yeah, pretty much. They're about 3,000 gold down. Snowflower's going to face check and brush, though. Lear's there to help him, but he's going to need quite a bit. Fury comes in for a little bit more damage. Here's
they can't
Mickey.
do this.
Mickey's got the gold card. Oh, yeah, they back off at the last minute. They did not want to fight that.
But chunking out the support really doesn't do anything for them when it comes to actually killing this turret, as long as Lyra and Mickey are still around. And
That turret's pretty low, though.
oh, looks like they are going to get it, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, it just didn't have enough health.
But nice attempt there, Afreeca and Longzhu getting the jump they needed to push out the mid lane turret to at least get one tower on the board for themselves. But this is the problem with Jhin right now in the double TP meta. Like I said, we saw this in the Vitality Fnatic games about how do you actually use Jhin properly. And certainly Fnatic tried and successfully used Jhin also, but double TP means Jhin is going to have a super bad time.
Yep. The Afreeca Freecs about to claim their second dragon of the game now.
Oh man. Fury has to be so careful. You can see he's so scared right now. He walks up and he can't even get to the river before he just backs off.
Yeah. Well, they don't have a ton of vision there, too. They've got a little bit, I guess, but still way too dangerous to move up.
Afreeca have all of the control over this game now. They've done a wonderful job digging themselves out of an early game hole. The first blood right at level 1 that Mickey gave up. He's made the necessary TF plays. They've intelligently played around the bottom lane and their ability to dive, getting the kill 3-6 onto Alistair. Really nicely done. Afreeca playing to their win conditions much better this game.
Well, this is one of those reasons why you just don't let Mickey have that twist of fate. They're so good at using it.
And it's also one of the reasons why it's so hard to draft against the Freaks these days is how do you do it really?
Yeah.
You either give them power picks or you give Mickey Twisted Faders out. Nobody wants any of those things.
Trying to take out that pink ward. Ixu's actually going to engage onto Expression. Coco Fury are there, though. Songyun's got a pretty good angle. Fury gets in the back lines. Fury actually getting a lot of auto attacks in. Brahmo doesn't do a whole lot. Afreeca Freecs have to back away. Mickey pops his ultimate, trying to get there in time. Actually, he's moving back down. They've decided they can't fight it. Lyra just trying to survive. Curtain call comes in. Lyra flashes over the wall. Nice dodge. Whoa, narrowly avoiding those shots from Fury.
Lyra he just toys at the edge of these skill shots.
Yeah.
He really does not maximize his damage as a Graves in these team fights. And they don't take any losses there, perhaps a little bit overly aggressive from Afreeca. They still get a couple of important summoners, most notably Fury's flash down though. And now Fury has to be even more afraid of entering a side lane. And the problem with this composition that Longzhu has drafted is you can basically only farm 2 waves, because Varus and Jhin both cannot be in a lane by themselves right now against a TF and a Teleport Gragas. Like, that cannot be allowed to happen. So Afreeca can actually just starve Longzhu out when it comes to farm in this game. Not very many good choices for them to make, because even though they can farm as long as it's on their side of the map, if they push forward at all, they can't really break any kind of even tier 1 turret freezes that Afreeca can execute without just getting killed. It's really bad situation for Longzhu.
It definitely is. And we're getting into that later game stage now where the Afreeca Freecs have been consistently stronger in the second half of the season than Longzhu too, so kind of going from bad to worse right now for Longzhu Gaming.
I think if you're going to play Jhin, then you need something like a Lissandra. You have to be able to give Jhin the mid lane, the mid game, and split push with another teleport champion. I think if you don't have double TP to, first off, respond to the possibility of dives in the early game, and the possibility that Jhin will have to overextend in the mid game, to get him to that late game power status and to protect him in his early game power spike when he can be a really big bully, it's not worth playing it.
All right, engage coming in from Longzhu, teleport used by Expression. Meanwhile, Coco nearly gets blown up by Lyra. Mickey kind of on his own here though. Curtain call used, and there's a kill for Fury. Lyra in a little bit of trouble now too. That's a double for the Jin. You're backing away. Longzhu, though, winning this team fight. Expression dives in yet again. He's going to back up just to stay healthy. That's a team fight win for Longzhu, so they are not out of it quite yet.
Yeah, big mistake there from Afreeca. They overcommitted. Lyra did a good job of dealing with Coco as he tried to get up into that top lane in the 1v1 duel, but you cannot commit onto that fight so aggressively if you're Mickey. I mean, he doesn't have a Zhonya's Hourglass yet. You could do that if you have Zhonya's, but otherwise just the damage too great. And even though they were in a wonderful moment of a power spike with the 2 items completed onto the Kalista, not exactly played the best right there. And Coco and Fury were able to find that long-range damage over the wall.
I mean, with such a big game, too, you wonder if maybe nerves are a little bit of a factor for the Afreeca Freecs, because they certainly haven't been playing this one as cleanly as we saw in game number 1.
Yeah, it's mostly just been the last couple minutes. I thought they did a really good job with the laning phase and the dives onto the Jin, and Longzhu is just stacking up this lane right now, but this is what I mean. They can only farm 2 lanes at a time. So they have to put 4 people up here because otherwise Jin dies. Like, Expression without TP cannot be at another point of the map, and even with TP, a risk.
Up here going for the headbutt pulverize. Ixu gets out with the body slam, though.
Mickey's been sitting in this base forever now. They really want to make
teleport
another play.
Teleport coming into the mid lane.
Just gonna push. That was
that way.
The anti-climax, but
I guess so.
With the Graves and the Lichbane, they're gonna deal some pretty nice damage.
Well, Coco's got decent wave clear, though, so he'll be able to push that back for the moment.
Still, Mickey using that teleport just for a little bit of turret damage, so not the greatest use right there, but here comes Songyun, especially the only one left at the top side. I don't know why Jin is feeling so safe being down there alone. I guess they're going to try and kill Mickey. Lots of pings going down. Mickey still has a tier 1 turret.
Yep, current call, they're looking for the slow. Mickey dodging it pretty well. Oh, gets hit once, gets hit twice. Is it enough? Pure comes in. There's a gold card. He's going to try to get away. Oh, CC'd. And Fury with another kill. Mickey just way too far up.
He should have known that that W was coming in, but it didn't.
I think so. Whoa, Lyra. 1v1, jungler versus mid laner, and that's a fight that Graves is going to win.
Yeah, I really think Mickey, because the W didn't come in immediately after the knockup from the Alistar, I think that trying to port out of that was a mistake. I think you just walk away and don't waste your ultimate even if it does end up killing you. And now there's a collapse going on the bottom side. Mickey's dead.
Fury and Pure have stuck around for way too long. Fury flashes away from the Q. Pure, though, caught out. And so it looks like Songyun and Snowflower are going to be able to grab another one for the Afreeca Freecs.
No ultimate from Alistar.
Yep. Even if he had it, he was so alone.
So very alone.
Yep. Third dragon, though, is going to be claimed by the Afreeca Freecs. So they have monopolized all of those this game, at least.
Is absolutely huge for them.
Yeah.
They're going to be threatening, of course, a 4th dragon in 31 minutes and a pre-40 minute possible 5th dragon. This is a huge win condition for them.
Well, it seems like, again, you know, Lyra's just being this hero on Graves.
Well, they've needed it, and Mickey's TF. The scoreline may not be impressive, but what he did to control the pace of this game early has made Afreeca really be in the driver's seat the entire time, and it's dictated a lot of what Fury's done. Yeah, Fury is 3-1-3, that's great, but it doesn't really matter. Like, the thing is, the weird part is that Mickey's been playing a lot better than Fury has, but their score lines don't really reflect that.
Yeah. Well, sometimes to make the plays, you gotta get yourself killed, you know?
Is that a Doa-ism?
Well, anyone who's played Annie knows that.
Sometimes to make the plays, you gotta get yourself killed.
Yep, it's true.
Don't try and make the plays in real life, though.
No, I try to avoid that if I everyone. Mickey. All right, goes after the Raptors instead.
Some of those ports have been a little weird.
Yeah, these gates haven't been the greatest. All right, time for Baron for the Afreeca Freecs.
Can't do this
a little bit risky.
Really fast, but I guess nobody's going to check.
They are not quite yet.
No, it's
Baron
done.
getting lower.
It's done. It's over.
They got it. All right, now, are they going to team fight? Let's see if they go in. Ixu diving, doesn't really connect with anybody. Expression coming from behind. Songyun exhausted. He's not going to be putting out quite as much damage, but they've got enough to take down Chaser. They've got enough to take down Pure, and the Afreeca Freecs get the Baron, win the team fight. Expression having to back away, Mickey chasing him, and Fury trying for dear life to get away. Whoa, collateral damage, and a barrel, not quite enough to finish off Coco, so Fury and Coco lucky to escape from that one. If Mickey had stuck with the team, maybe they could have done it.
Yeah, Mickey has his TV back up so they can try and make a play to kind of win the game right here. I mean, I think there was a W to check that, but just nothing. No wards from Longzhu. I think they had an inkling it was going down, but they couldn't get it together to get to the pit fast enough, Expression on the backside. But basically, Afreeca just getting a series of picks. They isolate targets and just kill them one by one.
Yep, pretty much. And as we go back the real-time game, Coco in a lot of trouble as the inhibitor goes down. You're trying to save him. Chains of Corruption lands. Still a Q for Song Yoon.
That was a red buff kill.
Yeah, this could be it. Curtain call pop, a lot of damage coming through. And actually, Longzhu looks like they're going to defend this one for the moment anyway. The inhibitor's still up. Mickey coming in, gold card onto Chaser. They pick one up there. That's 3 kills. Maybe this one is over. Yeah, Baron buff coming down. Only Fury and Pure left. The ult has been used from this Jhin. Afreeca Freecs trying to win this one, trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. And it looks like they'll be able to probably do it. Coco up in about 15. Ixu pushed back. Pure and Fury doing what they can to defend here. The Nexus turrets all down, and there goes the Nexus now. Mickey focuses down Pure before turning his sights on the Nexus, and that is going to be a 2-1 victory for the Afreeca Freecs. They got it. GG.
Well played by the Freaks. Some hiccups, but man, what we learned
overall
in Game 1 and Game 3 of this series is that they have been very good at doing Baron. Like decisive, sneaky, able to really know their limits around that objective.
Yeah.
And pays off, absolutely. And I think this really confirms my suspicions about Jhin. Like I said, when I was watching those EU LCS playoffs and how well Fnatic was playing, I think they really did a great job this past weekend. And seeing how they played against the Jhin and how hard they punished it, we saw the same thing here tonight. And I think that Jhin isn't bad, he's just situational. And if you don't have a way to keep him in the mid lane in the mid game, and you don't have a double teleport yourself to respond to dives, you can't play him.
Yeah.
You get punished way too hard, and we saw that here.
Absolutely. But the Afreeca Freecs, they get the 2-1 victory, so they will still have a chance to make it to the postseason. Hard to believe, but it's a possibility.
It is. It's alive, but they really have to 2-0 CJ now. That's the thing.
It's going to be tough.
If Samsung 2-0s Kongdu, they are going to need to 2-0 CJ. They had that chance. They decided to take a risk with LeBlanc Kha'Zix. I don't think it was a good idea.
Yeah. No, they paid for it.
Now Longzhu continues to struggle this season, and they're pretty much going to be guaranteed that 8th place.
Yeah.
Which is definitely not where we expected a team with this many excellent players to be.
Well, it's like we said, we know there's a good team in there somewhere. Just how do you find it? Later on in this year, that team might be in a lot different place in the rankings.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the offseason might do them good.
Yeah. When we come back, guys, the Telecom War, SKT, world champions taking on their rivals. KT, you do not want to miss it. It is going to be epic, man. A battle for 2nd place in the standings. It's going to be awesome. We'll be back with our 2nd match on Champions Spring right after this.